I personally think this guy is opinionated and ruthless. Kevin is hungry for big deals and loves to take control, yet he made his millions helping children learn how to read. Kevin O'Leary's success story starts where most entrepreneurs begin, with a big idea and zero cash. From his Toronto residence, the Canadian moneybag launched SoftKey Software Products. As sales took off, Kevin moved to headquarters in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and went on an industry consolidating acquisition binge. Gauging from his stupidity, expensive lifestyle, and ferocious spending habit, Kevin is a man of the means. However, O'Leary is never without his sage advice and his history of success as a businessman. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at his 6 best philosophies of becoming rich. But before we get it rolling, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. And also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new uploads. And now, let's get it on. Number 6. Take the pain out of frugality with a fun money fund. Well, we all know Kevin O'Leary is a man who firmly believes in austerity and never in total deprivation. He believes that living a frugal life to attain a healthy financial lifestyle is not an excuse for someone to limit themselves to a life of joylessness, especially after watching the Shark Tank show. In one of his interviews, he says, "The key is to include spending on fun things in your budget. Set aside a manageable percentage every week in a fund that will splurge with cash. Go out, get your hair done, or use your fun money to go on a vacation. Do whatever you want as long as you pay for it outright." Considering the money is spent on a vacation or a shopping budget, you can avoid accumulating debt, and you can get to splurge without having regrets about having spent the money. Most of us will always consider spending money on fun activities as wastage. However, from O'Leary's interpretation, we can eliminate those regrets as he explains the most important thing to do to trace the usage of our finance, which is key in managing the flow of your funds. Number 5. Controlling emotional spending. What comes to your mind when you hear the term emotional spending? According to Kevin O'Leary, emotional spending refers to any spending that aims at satisfying your emotional compulsion. People end up spending on things they don't necessarily need to spend on, but choose just for inner satisfaction. In one of his interviews with the Business Insider, Kevin O'Leary explains that some consumers go shopping to feel better or just because they have been recently paid and now want to enjoy themselves. He further explains that the joy someone gets from buying a new thing is short-lived, while the debt arising from it is likely to last longer. In one of his speeches, he says, "Mixing money with emotions is a toxic combination." He further explains that people need to be mindful of their mood whenever they go shopping. This is really interesting. He believes that realizing why you want to spend money on something can reduce spending on unnecessary items. Number 4. Avoid carrying too much debt. In the television show Shark Tank, in one of his pieces of advice, Leary says, "Never let them see you sweat and never pay with credit." While the first part of the advice is suited for the contestants, it's essential to consider the second part and analyze it appropriately as it directly affects us. In simple terms, Kevin O'Leary implies that maintaining debt will always be enfeebling for your credit score. High debt ratio makes it difficult for one to be served with decent loans by lending companies, leading to higher interest.
Be out of debt by the time you're 45.
O'Leary suggests the following ways to help investors avoid falling into harmful debts. Keeping what is yours, yours. Leveraging your profits by measuring the return of investments, ROI, of any business idea before implementing it. Preparing for future sales. Not only why, but also where you obtain a loan for a business is an important factor to consider. Number 3. Invest in dividend stocks. When we hear about dividend stocks, the first thing that rings in our mind is an investment. To be a successful businessman, one has to invest in dividend stocks. Kevin O'Leary advises investors on investing in dividend stocks since one is sure of the steady flow of income that grows cumulatively as long as the stocks remain held. During one of his interview sessions with the Business Insider, that he never allows his portfolio managers to buy stocks that he has not paid dividends for, which has proved successful. Based on the knowledge that companies issuing the dividends are usually stable and full of cash, dividend-bearing stocks are assured of their investment. Thus, lower risks are involved. Any stakeholder that chooses to take a dividend investment plan instead of accepting the payments enjoys the advantages of the compound interest force of multiplication. At number 2, investing steadily for the outcome. In his usual blunt style, Kevin O'Leary explains to the Business Insider that his advice to any entrepreneur attending the show is, don't be greedy. Investors can also apply this philosophical approach. Expert consensus has shown that it's almost impossible for an investor to beat the market for more extended periods. There will always be a change in market season, better seasons, and bad seasons. At some point, anyone can experience a lucky run-in flow of their goods in the market. It is therefore always important to consider developing a competent portfolio that will ensure healthy growth of money over a more extended period than trying to play the markets to make quick profits. For those trying to set up a retirement plan, it's vital to consider the risk tolerance and evaluate how much you can manage to lose during a specific period of your life. And at number 1, adopting common sense financial habits. Sometimes in life, advice that seems simple and easy to understand can be the hardest to follow and apply. In a LinkedIn article, Kevin O'Leary writes about how often people would ask him how he got rich. His answer would always be the same: don't spend too much money, mostly save, and always invest. To enable one to evaluate their spending habits, O'Leary recommends that one has to find their 90-day number, representing their total earning in 3 months less the expenses incurred during that period. If the resultant answer is positive, then you're spending wisely. And still, if the answer is negative, then you're among the more significant population that needs to reevaluate their spending practices and find ways to control them.
There is no soccer game on Saturday. There's no Sunday dinner with the family. You're working because some guy in China or in India or some woman out there is kicking your ass, because we're in a global competition now. And so I don't care what your business is, men, women, you have to understand that you're going into a huge lifestyle change. And I tell people it's not for everybody. Don't do it if you don't have the stamina to get kicked around and driven into the ground and get up and do it again and beaten up by people that tell you, this is not kumbaya stuff, this is hardcore stuff. And I meet many entrepreneurs that are in tears saying, I can't go on, I haven't seen, my significant other in 2 weeks.
If you pay close attention, you realize most successful people share a common trait of constantly learning new things. They focus their attention on understanding and compressing essential knowledge into a short period, the knowledge that might have taken someone else years to comprehend and utilize. Any investor needs to read as many books as possible, as this allows them to gain newer ideas of investment and cash management. It's never too late to make a change. Manage your resources now. It's essential to learn how we can manage our investments and live within our means. Did you enjoy our video? What did you think about Kevin O'Leary's 6 concepts to being a successful businessman? Do you think you're guaranteed to be successful by following the advice, or is there a lot more involved? Well, let us know. And also, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our amazing content. Please give us a like and share the video. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new uploads. We value your feedback. Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comments section down below. And we'll see you next time on the channel.